a brief introduction about my work. So it can be quite fast, so I hope you can catch up. Okay, so I like to start off with this image because I think this is the suited image to emphasize the idea that I was taking the plunge when I was 30. So this is when I traveled to Everest Base Camp for a trip, and then after that I decided to stop my full-time job and then try and focus on being an artist. So this is the pivotal moment where I decided that I want to become a visual artist. So a background about myself, I actually graduated from Temasek Poly under engineering. So after that, I enrolled in LaSalle and I wanted to pursue my interest in the arts, and I graduated with a degree in media arts. But when I graduate, I'm supposed to become a media designer, so I'm supposed to create flash-based, screen-based kind of designs. But I like to work with more tactile objects and the space that I'm with. So I decided to create installations which is a hybrid of both engineering and also at the same time arts. So I create installation works which is a bit interactive because it engages the viewer a bit better. Because to make it a bit more experiential, I think it is more significant. So after that, I worked with a gallery for 3 years, Institute of Contemporary Arts. And then after the 3 years, I decided to again take the plunge and become a full-time artist. So I like to take you back to the main core theory of most of my works is about the negativity of technology. Okay, so I like to bring about this theory by this French theorist called Paul Virilio. Okay, he states that the potential of accidents. Okay, hold on, I forgot. Okay, basically the gist of it is that he says that we should not neglect the negativity of technology because it has diverse effects on society. Okay, so take for example, this accident won't happen if we didn't invent the railroad. Okay, because the railroad actually is for trains, right? So we won't have this kind of accidents if we did not invent this kind of technology. Yeah? So the idea is for me to make the audience or the public be more aware that with this kind of advancement, right, although they have a lot of potential, but we must be aware of the negative aspects of it so that we understand and try to realize that. Okay? Yeah. So I'm going to go through some of my works. Okay, this work is actually done in 2010. It's an exhibition called Berita Harian. It gathers a lot of young Malay artists to actually discuss about the topics that is taboo in Malay culture. So we talk about homosexuality and pornography. My work is about pornography. So you can see this is actually an audition set stage for pornography. Okay, so why I use chairs is because we invent chairs for our comfort, and we invented pornography also for our comfort. So you can see that this chair is a bit more interactive as you walk by. It automates, you know how you automate, you know? So I will not go further to that. This work was done in 2011. It is actually in conjunction with the Singapore Biennale in 2011. So this is when Japanese artist Tatsu Nichi actually covered the Merlion's head and placed a makeshift Fullerton hotel around it. So I displaced the head on the Singapore Art Museum lawn. And then the work is about the idea of how we idolizes technology into this kind of robotic sculpture. So actually it is not a Merlion because without the body it's just a lion. And this is actually a decapitation of an idol. Okay? Yeah. Okay, next will be another work which is actually currently in Singapore Science Centre. This is a commission work. So I gathered a lot of parts from cars that are actually involved in accidents and create this sculpture. You can see it's actually a robot, a half torso of a robot with the head and the palm outstretched. It is interactive. So the idea is actually to encapsulate all these different parts that symbolizes tragedies of accidents and put them into this sculpture. But we do not see the smaller aspect of things, as in we don't look at it in detail. Same goes for technology. We look at it at its overview. We don't really look at it in its essence. So I'm trying to say that this work, when we look at it, we glorify the presence of it, but not the details. Okay, for this work, it is actually a commission work for President Young Talent Exhibition in 2013. So what in this work, it discusses the notion of education, about how we sit into this chair and all these lights are flashing their information or trying to suppress the messages towards you. and it is actually in Morse code. Like one of the lamps actually represents Plato's idea of philosophy and how the measure of a man is by how he uses power. And then at the end of it, when you sit on it, there will be total darkness after 20 seconds, and you can see the glow in the dark of this logo at the bottom that shows that we are certification of an institution. That what matters to us now is actually this little diploma or certificate that we show in society. For this work, it is actually the work I exhibited for the last iLight Festival. So it's actually a squid that represents society with its many tentacles, the idea of networking, multitasking that represents our society. At the same time, you can see it's not organic, it is a bit more geometric because it's supposed to reflect the background. At the same time, the squid actually has about 10 tentacles, but it only has 6 now because it loses itself as a form of, as it's trying to transform into this kind of different figure. And it's interactive, so you touch the tentacle and things happen. Okay. Okay, then let me take you to the last few slides that I discuss about the work that I have now in iLight Festival. So this work is actually a gigantic speech bubble that represents the idea of how we are so comfortable with the idea of text-based messages like SMSs, emails and all that, that we fail to realize that this non-emotional medium is actually being conveyed through others. And we can actually get a lot of conflicts based on that. Like how many of you actually have a lot of disputes based on SMSs and emails and all that, right? So it's about coming up with captions that is generated by random, about 120 different captions that is generated in this speech bubble. And for someone to come in to take a photo of the exact same speech bubble, but they react differently. Is to make people understand that even though the caption is the same, but how we react is different. So this kind of understanding hopefully will make people understand that we can actually, there are conflicts within this kind of text-based messages. So we should be more aware of that. Yeah. So hopefully it's clear. If you have any questions, you can just find me somewhere behind. And also, I don't have a website. Okay, not because I'm anti-tech, but then I've yet to make a website. Okay, so